solution. Transmit hits with no delusion. The feelings irresistible, that's how we move it. Everybody, let's get into it. Get stoned, get started, get started. Let's get it 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 started. Come on. Let's get it.
Second half, a few minutes away. It's the Riyadh season team against Paris Saint-Germain, and it's 2-2, an action-packed first half. We've had 2 penalties, 1 missed. Messi and Marquinhos scoring for the visitors, and 2 goals for Cristiano Ronaldo, 1 from the spot, and 1 a real poacher's effort to get the ball past Navas and to make it 2-2 right before the end of that first half.
Well, Paris Saint-Germain have got plenty of important matches coming up in the... I believe they start off against the Germans of Bayern Munich, with whom they've had a very, very strong recent history as Paris Saint-Germain. Bayern have only played 3 times, actually, since the end of the...
It's the electric SUV with the fastest acceleration in India. It's the most spacious in the C segment, and it can be yours now.
Munich, the route to the top of the Bundesliga has not been a smooth one this season, with the interlopers of Freiburg and Union Berlin getting in their way. However, they progressed to the round of 16 of the DFB Pokal, the German version of the Coupe de France. Paris Saint-Germain have their Coupe de France match against 6th-tier opposition coming up on Monday. And then they have to get their minds back onto the Liga battle that seems to be developing a little bit more than Paris Saint-Germain would like against Lens. The gap not so great as it was. Lens, of course, beat Paris Saint-Germain recently as well. So that's gearing up to be an interesting fight for Christophe Galtier and his men. Unbeaten in their first 16 Liga games this term. They've lost 2 of their last 3 now, so Paris Saint-Germain need to get that sorted out as they head into the business end. Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League again, thanks to their 10th Ligue 1 title last season. Getting that title back after Lille stole it from them the season before that. And Saint-Etienne, ironically, when Paris Saint-Germain won that 10th title to equal Saint-Etienne, the Les Verts, the Greens, were relegated in the same season. And they're not exactly enjoying life in Ligue 2 either at the moment. Galtier's new side won 4 of their 6 Group H games, beating Juventus, Maccabi Haifa. Won twice against Benfica as well, who stole the top spot away from them on the very last day of the group stage with 5 goals in the last 30 minutes. On match day 6, they're still top 6, the top spot away from them on away goals scored.
The Riyadh season team taking to the pitch, and the good news for their fans is that even with that bruise, Ronaldo is back. I wonder how long he'll play of the 90 minutes. He'll no doubt want to play the whole match. The magic sponge applied to that nasty-looking
Yeah, not
bruise
that
under
magic,
the
to
eye.
be quite honest with you. It looks a nasty shiner.
It does, yeah. It looks like he's been, Now, the question is, do PSG bring on more defensive players? On the bench, they got Danilo Pereira, who can play, obviously, defensively, more of a natural defensive midfield player. Vitinha, but they're a bit short of defenders just because of injuries. There's no Mukiele, there's no Mendes here, there's no Kimpembe, as Ronaldo and Mbappe have a bit of a chat. I don't know what language. Mbappe speaks very good Spanish, you know. Maybe that's in Spanish or English. He's a real
I think this is
polyglot,
probably English,
Mbappe,
yeah.
Mbappe, for a young man who's never played outside of France, speaks 3 languages. And Ronaldo's seeing the funny side of getting that whack from his old teammate, Keylor Navas. I think that does make a difference. They know each other very well, and Navas is a great pro. And Ronaldo saying,
That's not that much, is it? It's not big.
Mbappe saying, no,
is that it?
I've seen worse. That's a great shot. That will be seen around the world. That's a great shot. 2 of the world's best players having a laugh at half time, but it's getting very serious as the second half gets ready to go. Talisca on, who's an attacking midfield player for Riyadh, and as I suspected, Vitinha on as well.
And Danilo, well, he's a man who can tie up a midfield or indeed a defence, so it's a good one to bring on.
It's quite an attacking move. Al-Ghanam going off, playing on the right side of defence. We've got 2 more attacking players with Talisca coming on. Ali Lajami coming on. They're 2 players who will be playing with Ronaldo this season. They're both Al Nassr players.
Yeah, reinforcements at the back and up front for the Riyadh selection.
Yeah, Lajami played defensively, and Talisca further up. He's an exciting attacking midfield player. Is Anderson Talisca, the Brazilian, 1.90 m, ex Benfica players, big guys, you can see. Brazil under 23 international.
Was in Chinese football before he came into the Saudi Arabian League with Al Nassr. Al Lajami actually is a Saudi Arabian international, but wasn't in the squad for the World Cup that's just passed.
How do you think this might play out in the second half? It's been very competitive, hasn't it?
Who knows? I mean, I didn't expect the first half to go the way it did. I mean, it was a first half that it felt like a knockout game, to be quite honest with you. It is. I can't imagine we're going to get quite as much action in the second half. I think that the fact that Paris Saint-Germain down to 10 men is going to make a difference the more we go into this. I mean, the last thing that Christophe Galtier wants is for his players to go back for tired at the end of this.
That's true. So I'm sure we'll see some subs, and Vitinha is on. It would have been fascinating to know what was said at half-time. And one lucky member of the public maybe did, because there was a VIP ticket which included a trip into the half-time dressing rooms. No, that's, I think,
Corner.
the word corner. I think Navas thought that was just going to bounce out, and it didn't.
Well, there's a measure of just how quick that Salam Al-Dasawi is. Asia's best player. I don't think there's any doubt about that. He proved it in the World Cup with that performance against Argentina. I think after the euphoria of that win against the Argentines, they struggled to sort of get themselves back up again. It felt like a World Cup final for them.
So the first corner of this second half. So swung in, and it's a save from Navas, and cleared eventually by Soler. It was a really good effort, and PSG in danger of going behind there.
Yeah, Martinez got between the defenders and a lovely downward head. It was a fantastic save.
Sub. So this got thwarted that time.
Well, maybe we are going to get the same sort of half in the second half as we got in the first.
It was non-stop action, goals, red cards, missed penalties, scored penalties. We had it all. I think that is Danilo coming on. I think we actually saw him come on, but pretty sure the big Portuguese is on. So there's 2 Portuguese players on, Vitinha and Danilo.
Yeah, Ruiz has stayed on the left-back position and, with the sending off in that first half, and Danilo is fitted in the right-back position.
Messi. Is Messi offside? Messi goes for the shot. Was that a handball?
That's
Well,
outside the area,
if
isn't it?
that's a
Surely.
handball, that could be a red card, unless there was an offside before, in which case play would have already stopped.
I think there was a flag.
Meanwhile, at the other end,
Off we go again.
Ronaldo. You cannot take your eyes off this for a second. Martinez. Nearly comes to Ronaldo. But, I think he might be a busy left back. There, Soler. Ruiz, excuse me, is at left back.
Yeah, it has to be said that Juan Bernat wouldn't have got that header. It would have been a lot shorter than Ruiz.
Indeed, he's going to get practice as a left back, which is not really his first role. Shot just over. Subtalisca, showing that he can hit a shot from distance.
Well, the Riyadh selection are after a scalp, aren't they, here? Blazing start from the home side. And Navas has shown his quality to make sure that it's still 2-2. Really drove that well, Talisca. Only just over the top. Brazilian looking to outshine the Brazilians on the Paris Saint-Germain side. He's got 11 goals already in the Saudi Arabian Professional League this season. Coming off the back of the 20 odd he scored last campaign. He's found a new lease of life in Saudi Arabia.
So Ruiz playing at left back, it looks like, for this second half. That might change. So it is for the moment. Danilo, composed, very versatile player. Didn't really play too much in defence until coming to PSG. Thomas Tuchel tried him out there. Played a few games in the Netherlands when he was playing in the Dutch league, but came as a defensive midfield player, but has proved very adequate in a back three.
It's a new one for him, though, being out at right back. He's played defensive midfielder, centre back and centre midfield, but not seen him so far being a full back.
No, adding to his armoury. What's going to be fascinating to see is, will those front three stay on for all or most of the match? I wonder. Messi, Neymar and Mbappe, because it's a long journey back to Paris. Martinez, a little bit overcooked maybe. It was kept in by Abdul Hamid, who's playing on the right.
Well, we did see the likes of Neymar and Mbappe and Achraf Hakimi rested. As you see, that almost got a magnificent save by Navas. That really is. The ball is a perfect header. Down at the ground, Navas having to get low really quickly and does the job beautifully.
Just getting a hand on it, but keeping it out, because it was a header with a bit of pace on it. So, superb work from Keylor Navas, who, as we said earlier, has played very little football this season, just in the cup. So, easy to come in and pull off a save like that. Same what he did. Ruiz, Ramos. This is going to be very competitive. Second 45 minutes. There's no extra time. We'll go to pens. Neymar, brought down by Abdul Hamid, who's switched flanks.
Yeah, no doubt that was a free kick. Got him twice. There did Syed Abdul Hamid.
Mbappe. Neymar. I wonder if Abdul Hamid's come to this side to face this man, Mbappe. Mbappe tries his luck, and that's a good save from Alois. That signature, cut inside and shot, not far at all.
Well, you've got to show him down the line, haven't you, really? But Abdul Hamid there just anticipating the run down the flank, and it allowed Mbappe to step back in, and good goalkeeping keeps him out. I was going to say actually earlier that I would suspect maybe at the weekend or that we'll come back to that. They've taken the short corner.
Everything's going so quickly you cannot take your eyes off it. Hakimi. Vitinha, the sub. To the World Cup for Portugal. Hakimi. Neymar. Mbappe up against Abdul Hamid. I think it's going to be a big battle in the second half. And, well, there's only one winner there. Mbappe. Still Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe. 3-2. Brilliant work from Mbappe and Sergio Ramos. A warrior. Enjoyed that. And we are back to a PSG lead. It was brilliant work from Mbappe and Ramos, the tap-in, showing a centre-forward's instinct. 3-2.
Well, warrior turned poacher. Sergio Ramos, that's both centre-backs then on the score sheet. And we were saying how Abdelhamid should have showed him down the line. Well, he did it here. He was terrified of him coming back inside, so Mbappe said, OK, I'll cut back either way. I'll keep on going to the byline. Perfect ball in. And, well, Mbappe himself would have been very proud of that anticipation by Sergio Ramos to put that ball in the back of the net. It's a lovely goal scored by Paris Saint-Germain.
But he would, and he's worked on that left foot, killing Mbappe, and very dangerous from that kind of position. Whatever the situation, Sergio Ramos is ultimate competitor, and they'll be delighted to get the third. It looked like an easy tap-in, but it was a good instinct. And his former teammate Ronaldo, no doubt, say, look, you've got to keep aware. That's a player like that is able to score. 3-2. Plenty of time for more goals.
Well, Sergio Ramos has not scored in competitive action this season. It's a lovely ball.
That's a foul off from Hakimi.
Al Dassawi showing his class on that far side. It was a great first touch which allowed him to take on the Moroccan international fullback who just didn't get out of the way. Not that he should have to get out of the way, but he stepped into his man, and Al Dassawi happy to take the free kick. And that expression from Ronaldo suggests that he feels this.
Pity Martinez is standing alongside Portuguese.
1.90 metre Talisca. He's an imposing presence.
Ronaldo might go for a crack himself. A hat-trick in the first hour. Wouldn't put it past him. Ronaldo tries exactly that. So Ramos clears his lines. You hit one or two black shirts. PSG have something to defend with 10 men, but maybe the best form of defence is attack. Nicely done. Gustavo and Ramos diving in. Got the ball.
Lovely from Martinez. Ramos gets the former Marseille man back to his feet quickly. Look at this from Martinez. That's lovely. Real awareness of what was going on around him, and even tried to get the free kick out the back of it.
Yeah, super player. He won the Copa Libertadores twice with River Plate. Former Argentine international. Comes the corner and it's 3-3. The goals just keep coming, and it's Jang, the Korean centre-back. He just threw himself at the ball, and Ronaldo-like. It was a super header. It's another goal. It's 3-3 in Riyadh, and one of the more unlikely goal scorers of the evening. Jang, it's 3-3.
Well, just one goal for him in the league this season. It's a great ball in. Perfect near post run from the Korean. Got in front of his marker. That was the key to this. Little push from Ramos wasn't enough to put him off. Navas, no chance whatsoever from that kind of proximity. Good strength, and Paris Saint-Germain here continue to be given a game.
Just checking that indeed will be given. VAR will have a look at it, and a good header from Jang. As you say, use the pace of the corner just to guide it in. We are back at 3 each. What a game we've had. The second half, Martinez has showed what a good player he is down the flanks for the Riyadh season team. PSG playing with 10, remember. They brought on Vitinha and Danilo for some fresh legs. Kylian Mbappe. Finds Neymar. I was asking whether the front three would stay on. Done exactly that. Here is Messi. Vitinha. Renato Sanchez off. It's a half time. Messi. Neymar, much space, doesn't need too much. Messi! What was that, a handball? Messi thought so, and I think a penalty's been given. Abdul Rahman Al Jassim, for the third time tonight, has awarded a penalty for that handball.
Well, it was very close, wasn't it? Al-Balai. Well, the trouble is for Al-Balai there is he's moving his hand down towards the ball, even though it was very close to him. He's protesting that he couldn't get out of the way, but, well, of those that are that kind of penalty, you can see why the referee decided that one merited a spot kick.
Al-Balai gets a yellow for his trouble. Now it's going to be a change of penalty takers. That's quite a nice scene, isn't it? The referee just looking to calm down the centre-back. There's no language problems, Qatari and Saudi. He's just explaining, look, it's a penalty, that's the reason.
I think he's also saying that the VAR have checked it as well.
Yeah. You're absolutely right to point that out. VAR will check that, and if there's a change or a reasonable call to be made, he'll have another look at that. But I think VAR is quite happy with it. We do see those given these days. And after 1 hour of play, chance for maybe goal number 7. Kylian Mbappe. It's all about scoring penalties in this part of the world.
Listen to the atmosphere compared to the first penalty that was given.
Mbappe does the job. Otherwise beaten. There's another goal. 4-3 with 1 hour on the clock. And yet again, PSG have the lead. Ronaldo disappointed. But in that particular battle, there was only going to be one winner. Kylian Mbappe.
Well, he missed the penalty earlier in the season against Montpellier, but has been back on target since then. No doubts there. Had a quick look at the goalkeeper. Just decided where he was going to put it. And unlike the previous penalty, Al-Awas seemed to guess early. Ligue 1 top scorer. Well, he just can't stop scoring, can he, as more substitutions arrive.
Matheus Pereira, the Brazilian, coming on, as is Andre Carrillo, the Peruvian player. Some Mohamed Cano as well, so a whole clutch of subs. Off goes Ronaldo. What would you make of his performance?
I don't think he could have done much more, to be quite honest with you, in this game. It's a wonderful introduction to Saudi Arabian football. He's getting a standing ovation. It's not quite gone the way he wanted to in recent months. But a new life opening up for him here in Saudi Arabia. 2 goals, one of them a penalty, and some all-round respect from his new teammates and support staff. They'll be looking forward to him getting down to business in the Saudi Arabian Professional League.
Yeah, his first competitive appearance on Sunday when Al Nassr host Al Ettifaq. They won't be at this stadium, that will be at their normal stadium, the University Stadium. And off goes Neymar. I think Messi's going to stay on for a bit longer.
Hugo Ekitike is going to come on.
CK on.
Kylian Mbappe's coming off, I think.
It is. Can't see some of the youngsters, and PSG have a brilliant clutch of youngsters coming through. Donnarumma coming on between the posts as well. Great ovation for Mbappe as well.
Well, I'm not 100% convinced that Neymar, Messi and Mbappe will probably start the cup match on Monday. I think it's important that they rest them. It's a nice moment between Gallardo and fellow Argentine Lionel Messi. Gallardo able to deliver his personal congratulations for that lifelong achievement. He wasn't even born when Diego Maradona lifted the World Cup in 1986.
So they've had 1 hour of play, that front three. Now it's up to Hugo Ekitike to lead the line.
He's been in good scoring form of late as well as Hugo Ekitike.
He has, yeah, scored against Châteauroux, against Angers, and against Lens as well. So in good form, the number 44. Actually asked to wear the 44 because, like his name, it's a palindrome, meaning it's the same backwards. If you're wondering why he's got the number 44. And look out for the number 33, talking of palindromes. Warren Zaire Emery, 16 years old, made his full debut at the weekend. Yes, you heard it right, 16 years old, playing for PSG. So it's 4-3, in case you lost count. Also on the pitch is Ilyas Husni, number 37, another youngster, 17 years old, hasn't played so far in the league. There's that all-star bench, Hakimi off as well. So plenty of changes, as we expected. Look out for Husni, he's another really good young player coming through. It's very difficult for these youngsters to break through into the first team.
Yeah, he's sat on the bench 4 times, hasn't he, so far in his league and career? And little bit of a chance here. He's going to have, almost half an hour to impress.
And Garbi is on as well, in case you didn't see it.
He's a lovely player. I like him. Really impressed me when I've been commentating the Paris Saint-Germain youth team or the under-20s. I think he's got a very bright future.
Paris lad playing for his team today. It's a different kind of experience. This is probably not played in front of so many fans, exhibition or not. Is Lajami. Lajami does well. Pembele is another sub, incidentally, playing at right back, coming thick and fast.
Yeah, back from his loan to Bordeaux. Trying to force his way into a defensive structure that has Sergio Ramos and Marquinhos, of course, as number 1. Speaking of which, lovely move by Al-Dasawi.
Comes Cano, the sub. A lot of new players coming into what's been quite a frenetic match so far, so not easy for them. That foul against Pembele, indeed it was. Absolutely right to say a lot of competition to come into this defence, but with these injuries, Pembele might play, this week in the Cup against Pays de Cassel, which is a small village team up in the north. There's Talisca, the sub. Defending for PSG, Danilo heads it wide. Talisca drives goalwards, and Donnarumma holds on.
Yeah, but there was a real slide in there by El Balai. He might have got something on this. Donnarumma would have been a little bit of 6s and 7s if he had, but he kept his eye on the ball, right into his arms.
A whole clutch of teenagers on. Husni among them. Let's see how they can do against this Riyadh season team. Zaire Emery as well. It's interesting to see how that youngster develops. The youngest player ever to play a competitive match for PSG earlier this season. He did start at the weekend in a very difficult match too against Rennes.
First saw him at the beginning of the campaign when they were doing their Japan tour, and he came on and played alongside Marco Verratti and looked absolutely at home.
Here's Carrillo, I was mentioning. Peru. Bit of a lull after all those substitutes, which is understandable.
Team of players getting used to each other again.
Gustavo Alta Dalsari. It's interesting, the players know each other, but often as rivals, of course, great rivals are Al Hilal and Al Nassr, two big Riyadh clubs. (4-3) to PSG. Messi, Marquinhos, Ramos, and that's Mbappe penalty right on the hour. Christophe Galtier has had a match to coach today. He's had to use all that knowledge of his with these two players going off, but dealing with the fact that they are playing at 10. Easy to forget, but Bernat seeing red, that wouldn't have been in his planning. So the goal scorer, Zhang.
It's not been obvious, though, has it, that Paris Saint-Germain have had a man fewer on the pitch. It's looked very even.
It has. They've got some young, fresh legs on, the likes of Husni and Ekitike. Emery.
Although, ironically, this will be the test for them, isn't it? Because now they have 10 men with less experienced players on there.
Yep. Defending to do here, held by Donnarumma.
Made himself the #1 this season as Donnarumma after sharing responsibilities with Keylor Navas last season. Slightly loose ball from Hugo Ekitike. Oh, that's nicely done. El Shaddai Bichiabu there showing how comfortable he is as well. Another of the new players coming through in the Paris Saint-Germain academy.
Yep, towering centre-back. It's a really skillful player as well. Vitinha. Pembele. Husnina, here's a chance for Ekitike. Oh, taken off his toe by Zhang. Good work from Zhang it was. So it's Danilo and Bichiabu, the two centre-backs now. Ramos has gone off.
And with Marquinhos off, it's Danilo wearing the captain's armband. Oh, hello.
Trying from distance. Good awareness from El Oais. Beaten there by Vitinha certainly from distance. You can say that again.
Vitinha, I mean, he's been a wonderful signing by Paris Saint-Germain. Fitted in absolutely from the start. Marquinhos was talking about him and how impressed they've been since he came in. He really does add to the midfield. Great spot.
Master of the ball, and him and Verratti, Veratinia, some fans call them, link up really well. Knocked across and just taken off the toe of Ekitike. That was Vitinha's shot. Comes Garbi again.
This is Husni. He's a wonderful player. He's a real goal scorer for the under-20s. And really links up well with Garbi.
Yeah, they've come through that academy, haven't they? So they know each other well. Ekitike. Or Zaire Emery. Sits in front of that back four with great effect. Vitinha.
I can see Zaire Emery being one of those players that will come through the academy and will stick as we go on with Paris Saint-Germain's future. Wonderful sense of composure on the ball, which, bearing in mind that he's still only 16 years old, is quite phenomenal.
Yeah, that's the word that so many players use about him. He's so composed. At 15, you know, he was training with the first team.
He just gets it.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. He's just got that football knowledge. Born in Montreuil, just to the east of Paris, a local boy. See what the Riyadh team can do from this. The shots from Talisca, held by Donnarumma.
Yeah, there's a deflection on the way through. He's got intent, hasn't he? Danilo there just managed to get something on it, which made it a easier catch for the Italian Euro winner.
Euro winners. Bichiabu was an under-17 Euro winner, so he's won some silverware, along with this man, Zaire Emery. Loses out. Gustavo, maybe the chance here for the Riyadh team, but Vitinha, right place, right time.
Pembele telling Husni to get forward.
Yeah. Oh, Pembele did really well there, giving Husni some space to run into. Husni gets it across. PSG's lead is just one goal at the moment. And, tonight, it's not a big lead. Ali Lajami there, clearing up. Luis Gustavo. It's near side. And Abdul Hamid. He's had a busy 73 minutes, hasn't he? both ends of the pitch. Abdul Hamid. I think he's always going to be worried about the threat of Mbappe. Now he can put that to one side. There's no Mbappe on the pitch, and he can be a little bit more of an attacking right back.
Yeah, it's going to be different now that you don't have the Holy Trinity on the pitch.
Pereira. Abdul Hamid goes first time. Rather miscued that, but might come off yet, no. Husni gets his head down and plays. Warren Zaire Emery. All action player, isn't he? He's sort of player that fans like, but they might not like that. Losing the ball. Chance here for the host, and it's wide from Andre Carrillo, the Peruvian, just to hook that round the far post.
Well, it was a nice move, but Husni got introduced to Luis Gustavo, and you can't do things like that with the former Wolfsburg man. And it directly resulted in this chance. And I think Carrillo will be a little bit upset that he didn't do better. Donnarumma, standing big, standing tall, not committing, making him make the decision, and Martino upset, frustrated.
Ronaldo off. Eventful match while he was on, a penalty and then a good goal. So whacked in the face.
Even off the pitch, he's getting a cheer from the
the
home crowd.
Seeing him on the big screen. As Vitinha looks to open things up. And Bailey initially looking for the run.
Well, the game is definitely slowed up.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. Which will suit Paris Saint-Germain just fine as they're leading.
With those front three off, it's inevitably a bit slower up front and a little bit easier for the Saudi defenders, or what should I say, the Riyadh season team. They're not all Saudi. Jang is a Korean, of course. Transfer window is open. We can say that Pablo Sarabia, the PSG attacking midfield player, has gone to Wolverhampton in England. We wish him the very best of luck in the English Midlands. His former team have some defending to do. Talisca. Cuts inside. Talisca wants it back. Comes out to Abdul Hamid. Goal kick.
That was a nice move, but Syed Abdul Hamid just unable to wrap his right foot around that for the cross.
That's Al Khalafi certainly enjoying his day in Riyadh. Enjoying it even more if PSG end up winners.
Who's going to have bragging rights by the end? That's going to be the thing, isn't it? Certainly a lot of bon ami going on there in the VIP box.
Garby. Driving forward. His eye off the ball. Talisca. Dasari. A chance here, it's deflected and over. Good work from Warren Zaire Emery. Just throwing himself at the ball. The Al-Dasari shot.
Yeah, great work down that left-hand side by Matheus Pereira. Got the ball inside, but Zaire Emery closed down the space very quickly and made Al-Dasari just take the shot back slightly quicker than he wanted to. Has, though, resulted in a corner, so the attack continues and Paris Saint-Germain need to stay focused.
Indeed, in comes the corner. Out by Zaire Emery. There's Gustavo, probably the most experienced player on the pitch now at the top level. To the arms of the giant keeper, Donnarumma.
Yeah, you're going to have to work harder than that if you're going to beat a man in the air that's 1.96 m.
Talking of tall players, here's Ekitike. Ekitike is through. A chance for Ugo Ekitike. Oh, that's a brilliant finish. Well, Mbappe, Neymar and Messi may be off. But Ugo Ekitike is on, and that was a finish that those two players will be proud of. It's PSG 5, Riyadh season 3.
Well, he's been in really good form of late. So you can see how far the host team have pushed up. It was one-on-one. Ekitike uses his pace, and that's a really great finish from a man who's bang on form recently. 4 goals now in his last 5 games. And he's a man who's growing in confidence. 10 goals for Rennes last season. And he's already showing that he deserves his place in the Paris Saint-Germain lineup, even if, for the most part, he's on the bench. Every time he's called on, he does the business and gaining appreciation from his superstar teammates.
Hugo Ekitike making it 5. He does have such an important role this season because there's no way that front three are going to play every minute of every match, and they need to keep the quality up. They need maybe a different option. Ekitike perhaps gives a little bit more of an aerial option, but you can see there he's got the speed and he's got the finishing power. Of that there's no doubt, and that was a top-class finish.
Well, you remember the teasing he got when he finally managed to get his first goal in the 5-0 win against Auxerre. He was very, very relieved, and all his teammates let him know it. He'd been carrying it a bit like an albatross. It was a great relief when he got that. And once that first goal had gone in, then suddenly he can relax.
He's not stopped scoring since then, so congratulations to him. He's going to be an important player from now to the end of the season. You can be sure of that. Hugo Ekitike, a youngster with a great future. Already we can see a player with a great shot. A little bit shell-shocked after that of the Saudi team.
It should be it, really. 2 goals up, 5-3.
As you said, though, it's obvious evidence that PSG are playing with 10. They're doing really well. Going to go out for a corner. Matheus Pereira, the Brazilian, swings in the corner. 10 minutes to play in what's been a really entertaining match. Riyadh season team 3, PSG 5. Missed penalty, and we've had a red card. Ekitike doing well. A little bit unlucky there. A foul. Yeah, smiling Abdul Rahman Al Jassim. He's not had an easy game today. Foul on Abdul Hamid.
I think he's been loving it. Do you think the referee?
Well, he's had a smile on his face the whole time, which is good to see. And Bailey has some defending to do at that far side. I think a lot of these players will be playing PSG's next match against Pays de Gastel, you know. Because it's going to be different circumstances. It will be at the Stade Félix Bollard, which is a great theatre of French football. It will be newish fans to that stadium, I would say. There might be a few Lens fans supporting their local village team. That's 40 kilometres from Lens. It's the village of Cassel. It's not much more than a village. The life of a professional footballer. Curious from Saudi capital in this huge stadium to playing a village team the week after. Luis Gustavo. Seen it all in football at Hoffenheim, Bayern, Marseille. I think he'll play the full 90. Two goals the difference. Jang, the pace. But Bichiabu is powerful, very skillful player at centre-back. Look out for Bichiabu in the years to come. He's only 17 years old. You have to really blink when you see the ages of these players, especially Bichiabu, because he's a powerful presence.
Old man in this type of team.
Yeah, 17.
All of 17 years old.
Timothy Pembele. Garbi, a clever ball through.
Well, Desailly tracking back now to help out the defenders. Maybe getting a little bit frustrated up front. Paris Saint-Germain beginning to close the game down. With only 8 minutes left. You can feel that the atmosphere has been sucked out the top of the King Fahd International Stadium as well.
Yeah, it's good to see Garbi on. Another Paris-born player, you know. Spent 6 years at Paris FC, which is the other team in Paris. They're currently in the 2nd division.
They have their home down in the south on the Périphérique.
Nearly got promoted last year, more mid-table this season. Paris Saint-Germain have some defending to do here to keep this 2-goal lead. Vitinha, is it a foul? Yes, says our referee against Anderson Talisca.
Yeah, Talisca has been creating trouble ever since he came on. Clearly a foul. Talisca saw it coming, rode it.
I think that if
I think that Vitinha is going to feel that more than Talisca, to be quite honest with you.
The feeling that if Riyadh do want to get back into this match now might be the time, because as Angus was saying, they're a little bit flat at the moment, needing a bit of inspiration. If there's one man they can give it to them, it's Anderson Talisca. Former Benfica man. See the relative sizes there. Bichiabu, giant presence. Talisca, Ronaldo-like, will take his time and put it over.
Well, he hit it well, just in the wrong direction. Not too far away, but just couldn't get the zip back down over the top of the wall. No surprise that he tried to go over Nuno Mendes. It's good to see him back on the pitch.
Indeed, he wasn't expected to play today, but as you see, he is there. There's a couple of changes. Abdullah Otaf coming on, as is Sami Al-Najai. And it's the end of Luis Gustavo. I was wrong when I predicted he'd last the 90. He's put in a really good effort today, as the Brazilian can be proud of his performance.
Sami Al-Najai is one of those men who played in the World Cup, but only once. Abdullah Haf is also coming on, and is another Vitinha. I forget, he's only just come on, hasn't he?
He came on, so Blows come on at half-time.
Hope he's all right.
Yes, it's going to be a worry, isn't it, for PSG fans? Don't want to pick up any injuries here.
Al-Dasawi comes off, the superstar for the Saudi Arabian hosts. Didn't see him on target today.
So 5 minutes for PSG to hold out. Nuno Mendes, great to see him back from that injury sustained at the World Cup. Zoya Emery, well, kept on to that, 16-year-old. Bichiabu, 1 year his senior. Shows what a good footballer he is. Brilliant ball. Ekitike nearly came through to Gabi. It's Husni, excuse me. Gabi made the run to the other side. So, Husni not far off from getting a one-on-one against Al-Owais. A bit of a lull in the atmosphere. Maybe some of the fans thinking, well, that's that. They came back so many times.
Taffy there just getting a little bit frustrated. He's only just come on. He was part of the squad that went to the World Cup but didn't actually play, and so didn't get to be on the pitch when they beat this man's team, Argentina.
Lionel Messi opened the scoring 83 minutes ago. Seems like a long time ago. So much has happened since then. The cries of Messi around the stadium because his face was on the big screen, and well, every fan here appreciating not just the new Saudi acquisition Ronaldo, but the great Messi as well. They do love their football in this part of the world. Husni, Bailey wants it. Carey is on as well, another youngster, in the number 36 shirt for these final minutes. And the youngsters, Angus, have done pretty well. You know, they've kept a lid on a potential comeback, and it looks like they're going to get the team over the line.
Yeah, promoted from the under-19 team this season. Young Carey.
Mendes thwarted. Is there going to be a late sting in the tail of this match, I wonder? Action-packed, as you can see from the score. 8 goals. Missed penalty, red card. Pereira, excuse me, just about clearing. Wasn't he again?
Yeah, Danilo needed 2 bites of the cherry to get rid of that.
There will be a trophy awarded at the end of the match. Stay for that moment. Unless some late fireworks, it's going to go to Paris Saint-Germain. Talisca again hasn't really managed to change the course of the match. Abdul Hamid into the danger area, I say that, and Talisca's head up went the wrong way.
Why did he not go for goal? Tried to head it back towards the 6-yard area where there was no teammate. Neymar's turn to get some appreciation. He didn't actually know that the camera was aiming at him to start with. He'll get even more now.
And Marquinhos will get a few as well.
Give Marquinhos some love too.
Yeah, captain's captain. He's a great professional, Marquinhos, and it looks like PSG have a winning smile moving into the last minute. Achraf Hakimi, for the reasons I said earlier, is hugely popular. Kylian Mbappe, a little wave to the fans as well. There might be a sixth. Ekitike. One more, make it a tennis score. 6-3. 1 minute to go. Plus whatever Abdul Rahman Al Jassim decides is necessary for injury time. We had too many injuries in the second half. Plenty of subs. Talisca's one of them. So, transfer Carrillo and over. There's more frustration for the Riyadh season team.
Well, some great play there from Talisca. Trying to set the ball up for himself, realised it was not going to be on, and so found his teammate. Perhaps that should be in the back of the net. Carrillo there just leant back a little bit too much, and the ball went up instead of along. Rather for Pereira, excuse me.
With that final shot.
And with that blonde hair, should have known better.
Trying to get a perfect goal. Didn't quite come off. And I think that will be that. Let's see how much injury time there will be. But PSG with 10 men, remember, since 5 minutes before the first half ended. So good display from then. Talisca. Zaire Emery gets a foot in, and another one. He'll chase down everything. He's a really good athlete as well, 16 years old. Abdul Hamid, he's been on since the start. Carrillo with the cross. The strike miscued. With the danger not over. And, the diving giant keeper.
Yeah.
Donnarumma, and I think it's going to get the biggest cheer of all. The new Al Nassr player, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Well, from the Al Nassr part of the crowd, at least.
We are deep into injury time. It's PSG 5, Riyadh season team 3. It looks like that's the end of the goals. We've had 8 of them. Some real corkers in there as well. Screams of Ronaldo. And they're going to enjoy seeing Ronaldo in an Al Nassr shirt for the rest of the season. And as you say, Al Nassr fans will be hoping he keeps them top.
Yeah, I'm not sure it'll be so popular the next time Al Nassr go up against Al Hilal.
Yeah. They play each other once this season. 2-2 draw. Pereira. PSG happy to sit back and defend this 5-3 lead to the second minute of stoppage time. Carrillo. Talisca again. Super ball to the far side. And Bailey will have some defending to do. Does it pretty well. It's a question of keeping the men in sky blue out. Talisca came off his heel with a shot. It was from Andre Carrillo. Only just over 4 minutes we have of injury time, I can confirm.
Yeah, former Watford man is Carrillo. And he hit this really well. And almost looked like there was a touch there from Donnarumma.
It might have been, but not according to the officials. It was very well hit off the half volley, wasn't it?
So he scored once for Al Hilal this season as Andre Carrillo, the Peruvian.
And that's the top scorers with 27 goals from 13. And no doubt Ronaldo will add 1 or 2 to those.
He doesn't score a lot of goals, let's be honest.
The team, but Ronaldo here, not just to boost the Saudi League, but to help Al Nassr win titles.
Will end the hegemony of Al Hilal with a start, wouldn't it?
Yep. Messi and Ronaldo have met again. This is the 36th time they've met. Messi won 16 of those so far. Looks like it'll be 17 under rather different circumstances than we've seen in the past. But this has been a really competitive match in Riyadh. And PSG surely now will go away with the win. They've got a bit more defending to do.
I think everybody wins out of this, to be quite honest with you. It's been a good test for Paris Saint-Germain. But I think that a lot of people thought that probably Paris Saint-Germain would run away with it, and that's not quite been the case.
And the fans will definitely have enjoyed this. We've seen that. Maybe one last goal, I wonder.
Makes you wonder, though, what the score would have been had they had 11 on the pitch for the whole 90.
Carrillo. So to Cano. Oh, and there is a late goal. Would you believe it? We have a 9th goal. Not too many celebrations, but it's been given. Ronaldo thinks that maybe there is. But it is the giant striker, Anderson Talisca. He miscued one a few minutes ago. He didn't miscue that. That was a brilliant finish.
Well, he's deserved that because he's been a threat ever since he came on in the second half. And Donnarumma might be almost 2 metres tall, but that arced away from him into the corner. It's a splendid hit. Really is. Real quality. And he deserves that for the work that he has put in. He's really put himself in the window, if you like, of world
Certainly
football.
has. Yeah, because this is being watched around the world. And is it over? It certainly is. We've had a wonderful game with 9 goals. Some of the superstars of world football here, including Cristiano Ronaldo, who's ended up on the losing team and probably with a black eye in the morning. But we've had a wonderful game of football and a smile from Ronaldo. Messi on the winning side and the scorer. This one has finished. The Riyadh season team 4, PSG 5. So the youngsters from PSG, they would have enjoyed this as well, playing alongside some of the greats. Neymar there as well, and missed a penalty. Your summary of the match?
Well, it lived up to the anticipation. All of the big guns scored. Neymar didn't actually. He missed a penalty, but Messi scored, Mbappe scored, Cristiano Ronaldo introduced himself to Saudi Arabian football with 2 goals. And 5-4 is probably a fair reflection in the end.
Indeed, a 1-goal margin after a great night of entertainment. 5-4 for Paris.
I think the best thing to come out of that game is the fact that it was competitive. And I think it was competitive even when it was 11 against 11. The game didn't need to have one burnout sent off to make it competitive. It was already that. And Keylor Navas had plenty to do when he started. And I think he did really well. He doesn't play that often. It was only his second, well, I say second, he's had 1 competitive outing so far this season. And he put in a good performance and needed to. I think that Paris Saint-Germain can say that this was not a wasted trip. They certainly came out. They took it seriously. Messi, Neymar and Mbappe all played as we know they can together. The crowd certainly brought an awful lot of atmosphere to the game. It certainly felt like more than a friendly. It was a good game of football all around, taken seriously by both sides. And I'm glad that hope there's no injuries. Vitinha coming off was a little bit of a concern, but hopefully he's okay because they'll need him as we head into the business end of the season with the Champions League. Of course, the Coupe de France is going to get harder. You can't anticipate that they're going to get beaten on Monday. But they will have bigger games coming. There'll be more and more. And, of course, with this World Cup year, we have had more games during midweek than we've had normally when domestic action has been on. So I think it's important that the whole team plays. The youngsters came on and got a bit of action. It wasn't, like I said, it's not like they've come on against lower, inferior opposition. They came up against teams, 2 teams who are at the top of their league and who are full of stars that were so good for Saudi Arabia in the World Cup. So I think that all around this has been a very, very good, worthwhile trip.
Messi and Neymar played around the world together, and this is another chapter in their career. And Gallardo and Messi, as well as Neymar, a bit of love between the Brazilian and Argentines as we get ready for the trophy award. The lights are down. Keylor Navas having a chat with his old teammate Cristiano Ronaldo. It's a great opportunity for some old friends to meet up again. Hakimi and Mbappe. New friends, you could say, but certainly getting on great. Had a quick holiday in New York recently. As Lionel Messi and Naser have a word about today's game, which has ended Riyadh 4, PSG 5. And as we were saying, both teams can get a lot out of this. Some great experience for the youngsters like Garbi, Husni, Zaire, Emery, Bichiabu. While for the Saudi players and the Saudi-based players, they can say they played against some of the best all-time greats. And also meeting new teammates in Ronaldo. Of course, he'll be playing alongside the likes of Abdullah Mado and Abdullah Al-Amri, Sami El Najai, Gonzalo Martinez, Anderson, Talisca. They're all on his side of the city, so to speak. Three ex-Real Madrid players. Fascinating to know what they're having a chat about. Life in Riyadh, maybe. So just to run you through, PSG opening the scoring with that Messi goal. Ronaldo showing that he can still take a penalty, equalising just after the half-hour mark. Marquinhos making it 2-1. Then Ronaldo scoring from the penalty spot after getting an unintentional whack from Navas. So it's 2-2 at the break. And then in the second half, the goals kept raining in. Sergio Ramos with a cute finish. Jang making it 3 apiece. Penalty from Mbappe. Super goal from Ekitike. And right at the death, Talisca. There you have it. 9 goals. And the red card in there just before half-time for Juan Bernat. 5-4 for Paris.
And I wonder if he can quite believe what has happened. When we saw Messi's face at the end of that defeat against Saudi Arabia, and you would have told him, don't worry, you're going to win the World Cup, I wonder whether he would have actually believed you, because he looked absolutely crestfallen.
So let's sit back and enjoy the player awards for this match. Riyadh against PSG.
Looks almost surprised that he's been called as man of the match, but 2 goals in the game. Black eye to boot. Thanks to Keylor Navas, his former Real Madrid teammate. Well, he certainly showed his quality today. There's no doubt about that. But there's no doubt about it that he came up against an all-round better team, and a team that's used to playing to each other as well. Don't forget that this is a makeshift team that Cristiano Ronaldo was part of today. It would have been a big surprise if they had managed to get the better of a team that plays together every week. Twice a week.
Kicked a ball in anger since mid-December, playing for Portugal. And even during the World Cup, he certainly wasn't a player that Portugal relied on in those last few games. We will move on. Focus on Lionel Messi for the moment. He's going to pick up a award, perhaps. Certainly he's going to pick up the trophy as it's being brought into the centre of the pitch.
Getting used to that now, again. After they ending the 28-year wait for a Copa America, the 36-year wait for a World Cup. Both first in his career. It's been quite a, not quite the twilight to his career, but, you know, there's probably not another World Cup in him, even though his national coach, Scaloni, thinks